Breaking it down in layman's terms, today I got a special guest, and we're going to hone in on the educational tech space, helping and supporting students getting paid while they're at school, getting more information, but inspiring students to motivate really to do better in the classroom at so many levels, from the educational standpoint, from business partners and students. I got the founder, CEO of Schoolconomy, Regnault Sanders. Regnault, what it do?
Hey, what's up, Doug? We out here. We're glad to be on layman's terms. We're making big moves right now and love to be aligning with you. You the man to know, globally and based out of Atlanta. So we're excited.
Well, being based out of Atlanta is where we made our connection. I met this young, thriving entrepreneur and tech leader out there a couple months ago at an executive forum conference, and he was talking about Schoolconomy. I said, man, I got to have him in because he's speaking the knowledge, helping students out, and he really just led with what Schoolconomy is and really the vision when it started, getting students to get paid to be incentivized by doing good grades. And if you're working at school, you don't have time to do a part-time job, how do you make it work? So I'm just going to give you a high level talk about what Schoolconomy is, and how'd you get started with that? Your
Yeah.
inspiration.
Now, speaking to that part-time job, when I was in school, I asked my parents for a part-time job. Their response, no, you have a job. It's called school. So I thought about it. School is work, considering that we do a ton of work, but it's not work because we never got paid for it. But we decided to change that with Schoolconomy. So now any student, first grade through college, can upload their grades to earn points. They can also take quizzes on important topics like social and emotional learning, mental health, and wellness to earn additional points and use those points to redeem resources and rewards in our marketplace. So for companies, we connect your corporate social responsibility initiatives with the students that we have in our environment. So think movie tickets, tickets to basketball games and other sporting events, game developers that are looking to distribute key codes to students, whether that be in specific geographies or in the 16 countries that students have been using our platform to date.
Now, the platform, let's just break it down for us. It's a mobile app, so the student can goes on the app and they upload, like you said, their report cards or their information, and they get rewards, they get points, and they get paid for doing good grades. And from what I read in your other interviews, it's really motivation. You could be the C student to the B student, and whatever the case is, it's motivating them to get paid for doing good work.
Right. Now, everybody is working hard on a regular basis when it comes to that work environment, and we're getting paid, whether that be bi-weekly or weekly or even commission based. But that work you're putting in is being paid to some regard. So for students, we wanted to create that environment to truly gamify the educational experience, make it fun and enjoyable to do. So my viewpoint when I first started it was Chuck E. Cheese earning coins or using your coins to earn tickets from those games that you play, then being able to go up to the desk at Chuck E. Cheese and redeem those prizes that they have behind the desk. So for me, I thought, how can we get something similar to that and have that type of excitement in a digital landscape? So like you spoke to, Doug, it's a free app on the mobile app store, Google Play, and iOS. We currently released our web app thanks to our CTO, Stephen Compton. He's been with us for about a month. He's doing amazing work with us over at Schoolconomy. So we're excited about how we're continuing to prepare for scale.
I love it, and I love the idea how you've been scaling and you're growing, and you've been around for, I would say, almost a couple years now.
Yep. So we started development in October of 22, and we launched our version 1 in January of 23. When we launched in January of 23, it was actually January 11th. And I took a flight out to Dallas, Texas. I was telling my dad, I'm going to meet with Mark Cuban. I'm going to meet with Mark Cuban. I'm going to meet with Mark Cuban. And this was my first time in Dallas. So I decided on the Lifetime Fitness right by SMU, played games there in the morning times, but ended up going to speak at North Dallas High School. So when I went and knocked on the doors at North Dallas High School, we were able to be welcomed with open arms by a teacher that I just so happened to run into in the front office. She brought me to her class, and that's how we got our first 50 users. Now, I speak to that story of going to Lifetime Fitness and playing basketball with my new friends in Dallas. And with that, we were able to meet a ton of nice people. But I said I was going to meet Mark Cuban. I missed him by one day. And I didn't know this, but this is the gym that he plays in, that he works out in. And I was playing basketball on a court with the guy that I followed on Instagram. And within a day or two, he posted a selfie of him and Mark Cuban right on the same court that I was on. So that's really a testament to you speak your reality. We
Sure.
have full access to create what we want our reality to be. So that was just proof for me, like, hey, your words are mighty powerful. Continue to speak life and positivity on yourself, your corporation, and the people around you.
That's a true visionary in you. And I know that from the entrepreneur spirit, and obviously you're a former hooper, or you still hoop, and it all kind of tied into one when you had that visual social proof. And I've quite familiar with Mark Cuban, and he always likes startups and entrepreneurs that are bringing obviously value. And at times you rather talk about that more than sports. And obviously that all kind of work together. And you went out to the Dallas to make that appointment. But in the Atlanta tech community, you've been really involved with the startup community here in Atlanta. Obviously, Kennesaw State, you've gotten funding from the community. So that speaks to that as well. So whether it's Texas, Atlanta, or where your corporate headquarters are in New York, there's a foundation for you to keep driving in what you're doing.
Absolutely. And I appreciate those kind words.
So, Regnault, you've got a lot of players in place with this app. You've got the students that benefit from rewards programs and finance and money. You got the school systems, all levels. And then you got the corporate sponsors, the community. Let's hone in on the school systems right now. Talk about what's the benefit to the school systems leveraging this app for their students.
So with the federal budget cuts currently, it's huge for us to be able to support our schools, especially speaking to the K-12 sector. What we're doing is helping schools be able to reward and incentivize their students by adopting our platform. Teachers, educators across the board are able to send points to their students for good behavior, attendance, and other milestones that they're looking to progress students forward through. So with that, it's been great for them to just leverage what we're doing. We're finding ways to make sure that our product is free or very cheap for schools to get started with us, because we understand the turmoil of this current time and juncture in history. So for us, it's all about finding ways to distribute the product to students so students know that we exist and can utilize us. So to speak to our corporate partners, that's what really helps us grow and thrive in terms of fulfilling those rewards. So our amazing partners like the law office of Shari Trahan, Click Math Learning, Look Dine In Cinemas, Fetty Ride Share, Kale's Dental AI, just to name a few. But with that, we're able to distribute those meaningful rewards and resources to students at scale. And with that, we connect with those schools. All the school needs to do is approve the program and start letting their students earn rewards. We want to make it as easy as possible for them to get started with us so we can make more impact on students.
I love how you just shared with me, because you went to my next question. It was awesome how you talked about the business partnerships and some of the current business providers and partners that you have right now, the law firm and everything in the dental area. I mean, we're going to get really into the vision going forward, but thank you for the clarification, because I get the benefit for the student. I mean, you've got a video on your website from Channel 5 here in Atlanta with this young gentleman, this Emmanuel, who got his rewards. He's getting paid for being a good student, and he's going to Chuck E. Cheese, and you got to see the video. But I get that. It's marketing him, and that's a great story in itself. But you also alluded to what's the benefit is to the school system, especially in these challenging times with funding and money. So, but the partnership thing, well, the community involvement, you spoke to that so well. Is there anything else from the benefits of the partnerships that you want to speak on?
Yes. Now, in regard to our rewards partners, we work with different types of companies that are looking to engage with Gen Z and Gen Alpha being their primary user or primary customer. So, with that, we're talking game developers, we're talking movie theaters, bowling alley, food and beverage, anything across the board. But even more so, we have a huge opportunity for corporate social responsibility initiatives of professional services agencies. So those firms have an opportunity to truly make impact in their communities. So we geo target all placements to students in those specific geographies. When that student redeems a reward, they get a message that says made possible by this firm, made possible by this agency. And with that, it just clearly gives those professional services firms the opportunity to make impact in a one-to-one manner, but in a scalable digital way.
I love that, because you're really honing into a lot of things. It's obviously creating awareness for the professional provider to business service, but it's also targeted per their location. So they're getting community goodwill, they're getting advertising, but it's very targeted, selected, and it's a good thing.
Yes, and that's what we're all about is making sure that we can establish any of our professional services partners as that thought leader, as that legendary thought leader in that space and in that specific geography, really making impact in the community. Because across the board, everybody has aspirations of making impact in the community, but how far can you actually stretch? For us, it's about, hey, if you have that inkling of an idea, we can scale that to every corner of your city. Whatever zip code you need us to focus in on, we have the digital infrastructure to make that happen.
Just what you
Similar,
Go ahead.
similar to advertisement in the Instagram or Facebook realm, being able to geo target who sees that and who engages with it.
It's amazing because you can speak to that now, but when you launched this a couple of years ago, you were growing, you're learning through this journey, but you've uncovered a whole nother business sector niche. It's more than just getting a gift card from Target for good grades. You
Yes,
went deep. You've gone a lot. You're building on that.
yes, it has expanded substantially, especially with you speaking to our MVP revolved around our minimal viable product revolved around just gift cards. Now we're tapping into so many other important verticals that are really fulfilling students' needs across the board in a holistic way.
It should touch everything from education to incentive to corporations, all getting involved for a common goal, and the reach can be just indefinite.
Certainly. And I'm glad that that resonates with you.
No, it does resonate with me. I mean, I've obviously done my homework. We've spoken a few times and gone to the website, but it's really not about what I think. It's about where you're going and what do you see? I don't know, magic wand 5 years from now. Where do you want to position yourself? You've grown a lot. We can talk numbers where you started, but where we started is one thing. Let's look into the crystal ball, look into the future. What do you see and what do you hope to see?
Certainly. So I'd like to paint that picture for you and let you know what we're aiming at. For us, we will be continually the resource marketplace for any student first grade through college to come and find all the resources they need in one place. So whether that be I have a toothache and I need help with dental, whether that be I'm having problem understanding my reading. I need help with literacy. We have a partner for that. And those exciting rewards. You know, the baseline with how we started, that's cool too. Being able to get a reward, get an
Right.
Amazon gift card, that goes a long way too. But in the grand scheme, students will be one click away from applying for college, one click away from applying for scholarships, one click away from other opportunities like workforce development and things of that nature. And being able to continue to grow our partnership between corporations is going to be huge in terms of that growth.
That's amazing because it's like you said, you've shown from where you've been and where you want to head to. And then there's I like that one click away from scholarships, one click away from this. Obviously, with AI coming into place and other things coming into place, your adaptability. I mean, I know you're a man on the move. You're always acquiring new technologies. Can you speak to any other technology attributes or the AI space with this?
Yes. Now, for us, we are implementing AI into our flow. We do foresee our product being AI native as time progresses because we see how much AI is impacting what we're doing on a daily basis, regardless. We have been implementing AI into our workflow as individuals within the company and looking to truly implement that into the rails of what we're building as time progresses and we continue to scale. For me, the way I see it is this is the early phase of AI. I want to let the dust settle, then pick up. So, for instance, the first car that was created, we had to first have the hurdle of getting over the awkward design because the design was still made for horse and carriage
Hmm.
until we made it to the Model T. And that's what gave us our new standard of, okay, this is what an automobile should be. So I don't think that we've made it to that point yet when it comes to AI. And once we make it there, that's when I see us truly going in and leveraging and harnessing the value of it.
I love it because you're going through the process. You're scaling. You definitely want to grow, but you want to differentiate yourself from issues that may occur that people aren't aware of. One of the things that really impressed me is that I've seen incentive programs for schools and things of this nature, but I haven't seen anything quite like this on a mobile app. So, in layman's terms, kind of rapid fire with this. How are you different than other incentive programs out there in school systems, or are there anything of this magnitude?
Biggest thing for us is we cover so many different categories. That's what separates us. Also, the content library is second to none for a student to be able to come on and learn about financial literacy, social emotional learning, and mental health and wellness all in one place. That's invaluable, especially as we've gone out and talked to schools. We might go to a school and they'll say, hey, no, we don't want to use your platform, but I'll talk to the students on my way out. And I'm always getting, hey, I want to learn more about financial literacy. I want to learn more about mental health. So with that, we can serve those students at scale without the opt-in of an institution. And that's been huge for us. The thank yous that we get, the testimonials that we get about the information that we're making available to students has just been huge for me. And we want to continue to do that and expand our content library. Finally, I would say the community around it, the companies that we have aligned with, and the community of educators, parents, students that are supporting the program that we're building. Working with our internship program, we've had students from some of the most esteemed universities throughout the US: NYU, Emmanuel College, FIT, Syracuse University. So with that, just creating that community of students has been huge. and we'll
Just
continue to lean into that.
yeah, this is when you talked about the content library and going into resources that students want to have, whether it's mental health or the quizzes or just a content generation. This hasn't really anything to do with incentives for gifts or money. This is talking about mental well-being and education. You provide the platform. That is huge. And I did read up on that a little bit, but I'm glad you kind of brought that out there because that's a pivot where this is a gateway to more things than incentives for money, which is important and good grades. But now you're offering a platform where students can get more resources and more impact.
Yes, and this is all about the life outcome at the end of the day.
Right.
The rewards like gift cards and things like that, they're good for the current moment. Our long-term objective is a successful life outcome, and that is our gateway there. And in the midst of being able to have fun and redeem these rewards, we want students to be taking away knowledge that they can keep with them throughout their lifetime and even spread on to their offspring when they have kids.
That's incredible. And I when I picked up on that, I'm going, this is deep. And obviously down the road, the platform can be used in so many ways to inspire, to motivate students and the community to do better in school, education, and you can keep adding to the platform.
Absolutely.
And I just, like I said, I encourage people to go to your website, but you're constantly updating the information. You've got a lot of things in the work. You're getting more institutions involved, getting more sponsorships, more partners, as we talked about earlier. What's kind of the pressing or challenge that you have right now, and maybe making that into something more positive going forward? Okay.
My focal point as a founder is talking to customers and building on the product and just staying in a flow of that on a regular basis. Of course, there are other things that come into play, but those are the most valuable actions for me as a founder is continuing to talk to customers and continuing to build on this product so I can go and talk to more customers. For us, it's all about how many conversations can we have, how many partners can we get on board with us so we can make more impact.
I
So
love that. I love that. And you're growing with that mindset. And for people to find out more information about what you're doing, stay tuned. But obviously, go to the website. Any other resources that you can provide, or any talking points that we didn't cover that you would like to hammer home?
well, certainly, Doug, anyone that's interested in what we're building can certainly check us out on all social media platforms. Our website, of course, Schoolconomy, Schoolconomy. I just want to reiterate that we're going to continue to build over time. We're not in a rush with this, and we're brick by brick building that resource marketplace that's a win-win environment for everybody that's involved, whether that be the school, the student as an individual, their parents, the companies and corporations that align with us. So across the board, we're just creating a win-win, and we're glad to be the liaison to make that happen.
I love it. And there's so much to unpack and so much to grow. But this is making an impact in education from a student perspective, from the education institutions, from a well-being. And I really hone into the platform, helping out with the mental health, the quizzes, and all that. I mean, you've really leveraged a gateway. This has kind of grown from a startup point to where it's going on. I mean, it's a startup community and an app in a sense, but it's beyond that now. It's a big picture. I'm going to give you the parting shot. Anything else that you would like to add, or anything that I didn't cover that you would like to put out to our audience?
Yeah, so I want to really say thank you, Doug, for having us on layman's terms. I'm excited about being here. I also want to use this moment to give some love to our partners like the Queen's Chamber of Commerce, the Queen's College Tech Incubator, Also the Atlanta Tech Village that we've been a part of, the It Takes a Village pre-accelerator over the last month. So it's been great to prepare for scale in Atlanta also. And with that, we're going to continue building and continuing to make impact in lives.
I want to piggyback off what you said just there. Thanking all the sponsors and everything. Atlanta Tech Village, Atlanta Community. I did check out your LinkedIn profile, and you got to go to Renault's LinkedIn profile as well for more updates, and go to the company page as well on LinkedIn. I saw the video recently that you posted about Atlanta Tech Village and what you're doing there. So the resources are there. You go deep when it comes to social media and the website. Hey, it's been a true honor to have you on the show. We've got a lot of things going on in this world, but one thing is positive: our youth and our future and education and keeping them motivated. And what Renault Sanders is doing with his app and Schoolconomy and everything else out there, that's a positive vibe. Renault, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, and we'll chat soon.
Breaking it down in layman's terms, putting it in layman's terms. Breaking it down in layman's terms, putting it in layman's terms.